In the vast steppes of medieval Central Asia, a conqueror was born. Timur, known in the West as Tamerlane. Emerging from the Chagatai Khanate's decline, he envisioned a new empire that would revive the glory of Genghis Khan. From humble beginnings near Kesh, Timur built alliances among Turkic and Mongol tribes, using diplomacy and ruthless force alike. His ambition was limitless, to unite the fractured lands of Asia under his command. By the late 14th century, his armies thundered across the plains, carrying the banner of the Timurid Empire. His rise signaled the dawn of one of history's most brilliant yet brutal powers, a realm where war, art, and architecture would blend into legend.
Tamerlane believed that conquest was divine destiny. His empire was not built through negotiation, but through fire and blood. He waged campaigns from Persia to India, from the Caucasus to Anatolia, leaving behind both devastation and awe. Cities like Isfahan and Delhi fell to his unstoppable legions. Yet even amid destruction, Timur envisioned a cultural renaissance centered on his beloved Samarkand. To him, conquest was the foundation upon which civilization could flourish. As the world trembled before his armies, his empire grew into a beacon of might, an empire forged by ambition, fear, and genius. At the heart of the Timurid Empire stood Samarkand, the city Timur transformed into a paradise of culture and architecture. He summoned artisans, architects, and scholars from every conquered land to build his vision. Under his rule, Samarkand became a masterpiece of turquoise domes, marble minarets, and vast gardens. It was both a symbol of conquest and civilization. The city glowed like a gem in the desert where traders, poets, and astronomers gathered. Timur wanted Samarkand to rival ancient Babylon and imperial Rome, a capital worthy of a conqueror's dreams and the future's admiration. Timur understood that empires endure not only through war, but through art. He patronized painters, calligraphers, and builders, elevating Persian and Central Asian artistry to new heights. The Timurid aesthetic, characterized by intricate tilework, vivid colors, and geometric perfection, became the foundation of later Islamic art. His palaces and mosques were monuments of might and beauty, declaring his reign's glory. To conquer minds was as vital as conquering lands, and Timur succeeded in both. His legacy and culture rivaled his conquests in blood.
Tamerlane's most ambitious campaigns unfolded across Persia. From Herat to Shiraz, he waged relentless wars against rival dynasties that once ruled these lands. Cities that resisted were punished, while those that submitted were spared and adorned with art. Persian scholars, poets, and architects were brought to Samarkand to enrich his empire. The Timurid conquest of Persia not only expanded his dominion, but also laid the groundwork for a golden cultural fusion between Persian sophistication and Turkic vigor. Persia became the beating heart of the Timurid Renaissance, where swords gave way to pens and destruction to beauty. In 1398, Tamerlane turned his gaze toward India. The wealth of the Delhi Sultanate beckoned him. Crossing the Indus River, his disciplined army advanced through the plains of Hindustan. The Battle of Delhi became one of his bloodiest victories. The city was looted, its treasures carried back to Samarkand. Yet Timur claimed his war was against heresy, not empire. His invasion left Delhi in ruins, but filled his capital with unimaginable riches, gold, gems, and artisans who would redefine Timurid art. The conquest of India demonstrated his unmatched might and the paradox of his rule: destruction for the sake of creation.
After Persia and India, Timur turned westward. His armies swept across the Caucasus, crushing the Golden Horde and advancing into Anatolia. In 1402, he faced the mighty Ottoman Empire at the Battle of Ankara. There, Sultan Bayezid I was defeated and captured, an event that stunned the Islamic world. Timur's victory reshaped the balance of power between East and West. Though his empire stretched from the Indus to the Mediterranean, he ruled from the heart of Asia, proud yet pragmatic. His campaigns were not only conquest, they were statements of supremacy. Tamerlane believed himself chosen to rule the world. He planned an invasion of Ming China, envisioning the Timurid banner flying over Beijing. In 1405, his massive army marched east across the frozen steppes, but fate intervened. Timur fell ill near Otrar and died before fulfilling his dream. His death marked the end of relentless conquest, but not of his legacy. The warrior who had conquered half the known world left behind not chaos, but the foundation of a cultural empire. The Timurid dream would now pass to his descendants. After Timur's death, the empire trembled. His sons and grandsons vied for power, dividing the vast territories he had forged. Civil wars erupted from Persia to Transoxiana. Yet amid chaos, one name rose above the rest: Shah Rukh, Timur's son, who restored order and brought stability. He shifted the capital to Herat, turning it into a new center of art and learning. The Timurid Empire, once a machine of conquest, evolved into a realm of enlightenment. The sword had given way to scholarship.
Under Shah Rukh and his brilliant wife Gur-e, Herat blossomed into a capital of learning. Madrasas, observatories, and libraries filled the city. Artists found patronage, poets found voice, and scientists found resources. Herat became known as the Florence of the East, a place where Persian art, literature, and science flourished under royal support. The Timurid Empire, once feared for its armies, was now admired for its wisdom and culture. The transformation was complete. Warrior kings had birthed a civilization. Among Tamerlane's descendants, none embodied the spirit of learning like Ulugh Beg, Shah Rukh's son. Unlike his grandfather, the conqueror, Ulugh Beg pursued the conquest of the stars. He built one of the greatest observatories of the medieval world in Samarkand. There, he gathered astronomers and mathematicians who charted the heavens with astonishing accuracy. His star catalog became a milestone in Islamic science. For Ulugh Beg, true greatness lay not in destruction, but in understanding the universe. His reign marked the high point of Timurid intellectual glory.
Timurid art reached unmatched sophistication. Illuminated manuscripts, miniature paintings, and ceramic mosaics adorned the empire's cities. Artists combined Persian finesse with Central Asian motifs, creating a style that radiated elegance and harmony. The Herat school of painting flourished under royal patronage, influencing art from Istanbul to Mughal India. Each brushstroke reflected the empire's devotion to beauty and learning. Through art, the Timurids immortalized their vision, a fusion of war's strength and peace's grace.
Under Timurid rule, Persian poetry flourished like never before. Poets such as Jami and Alishir Navai transformed literature into a mirror of civilization. Their verses explored love, faith, and wisdom, bridging the human soul and divine truth. Navai, in particular, elevated the Turkic Chagatai language into literary prestige. The Timurid courts echoed with recitations of beauty and philosophy. Words became the empire's most enduring monument. Long after its armies vanished, the poetry of the Timurids continued to inspire generations.
The Timurids revolutionized Islamic architecture. Their builders mastered symmetry, color, and geometry. The Bibi Hanan Mosque, Gur-e Amir Mausoleum, and the Registan of Samarkand stand as living testaments to their genius. Domes glazed in turquoise, walls carved with Quranic calligraphy, and courtyards echoing the heavens all reflected the empire's harmony between faith and power. Every structure was both prayer and proclamation, a declaration that beauty was divine. The legacy of Timurid architecture would later influence the Mughals, reaching its peak in the Taj Mahal.
Under the Timurids, the Silk Road thrived once again. Caravans carried silk, spices, and gems between China, Persia, and the Mediterranean. Samarkand became a crossroads of commerce and culture, where merchants spoke a dozen tongues and traded treasures from 3 continents. The Timurid rulers ensured safety and prosperity, reviving the ancient trade routes that once linked empires. The Silk Road was not merely an artery of wealth, it was a highway of ideas, uniting East and West under the banner of civilization. knowledge flourished under the Timurids. Observatories, libraries, and madrasas became centers of scholarship. Mathematicians refined trigonometry. Doctors expanded medical knowledge. Philosophers debated the cosmos. The empire inherited and advanced the wisdom of ancient Greece, Persia, and Islam. Under Ulugh Beg and his successors, education became the noblest pursuit. The Timurid passion for learning later inspired Renaissance scholars in Europe. In the heart of Central Asia, they had sparked a light that would burn across the world. As generations passed, the unity forged by Timur began to fade. Regional governors sought independence, and rival dynasties rose around them. By the late 15th century, the once great Timurid Empire fractured under internal strife and external pressure from nomadic Uzbeks. Samarkand and Herat lost their political dominance, though their cultural influence endured. The empire's fall was slow, graceful, and inevitable, like the fading glow of sunset over the domes it had built.
Though the Timurid Empire fell in Central Asia, its spirit lived on in India. In 1526, Babur, a descendant of Tamerlane, invaded northern India and founded the Mughal Empire. The Mughals carried Timurid architecture, art, and administration to new heights, blending Persian refinement with Indian creativity. From Samarkand to Delhi, the lineage of Timur continued to shape history. The legacy of the Timurid world was reborn on new soil, grander, yet rooted in the same vision of cultural brilliance. The Timurid Empire left an indelible mark on world civilization. It bridged the gap between Mongol conquest and Islamic Renaissance. Its contributions to art, architecture, astronomy, and literature transformed Central Asia into a cradle of enlightenment. Samarkand and Herat became symbols of human potential, proof that power and beauty could coexist. Though its borders vanished, its influence spread from Ottoman mosques to Mughal palaces. The Timurid spirit became eternal, a civilization that conquered time itself.
Centuries have passed, yet Samarkand still shines. Its domes and minarets whisper the stories of Tamerlane and his heirs. Travelers who walk its streets see echoes of empires, of wars and wisdom intertwined. The Timurid Empire may have fallen, but its heart still beats within the blue tiles of its monuments. In every arch and inscription lies a timeless message, that greatness is not only measured by conquest, but by the beauty one leaves behind.